Welcome to The One Thing, where each episode features our signature segment, Pandora's Box. We dive into hot topics that challenge the norm and ignite real conversation.
Inspired by Greek mythology, Pandora's Box isn't just about chaos. It's about truth, transformation and hope. That's what we bring to every conversation.
Have a cause or business that deserves to be seen? Want to be remembered forevermore? Be our next special guest. Contact us today at theonething@edgeradioaustralia.com.
I lovingly invoke and reclaim my sovereignty from the highest order of the I am source of the one infinite creator, and embrace the power and expression of source as and through me now and for perpetuity. As the divine sovereign being I am in freedom, I remember who, divine self, and what, in expression, I am in fullness.
And today, in our powerful episode, we are going to dive into what it truly means to reclaim personal sovereignty. We're going to look at personal sovereignty, how to create the future we want, and we, the people, will be making the decisions. And our special guest today is Jane Ferro. She is a former educator turned wellness advocate, writer, and community leader. Originally from the US, you'll hear her accent in a minute. She moved to Western Australia in the 70s and spent decades in education before shifting her focus to natural health and energy healing. Jane has served as a local councillor, published regular health articles in her community, and continues to speak out on the government overreach, health freedom and personal sovereignty. She helps distribute the Light Australia magazine, or newspaper I should say, raises awareness about systemic corruption and advocating for a future where we, the people, take back our decision-making power. Welcome.
Welcome indeed. I tell you what, right now, Jane, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. We've obviously had conversations in the past. We've met, we met in a shed. What a lovely place! What a great Australian place to meet. I'm going to ask you something a bit strange here. How about you throw out your elevator pitch of what you'd actually like to achieve?
Right. I have a few different points I want to make, but it stems from what happened to so many during what I call the pandemic, yep, where our sovereignty was lost. People actually were totally disempowered. Not everybody, fortunately. There are some of us who stood back, resisted, and are speaking out. But through regaining our sovereignty, we then can create the future we actually want and deserve. And that will that will only happen if we, the people, do our part in creating the future that we do want.
And we need a path forward. It's no good just having hopes and dreams and sort of ideas. We actually have to take action. And you have an action plan, which makes you stand out, really does. There are a lot of people who have great intentions, but if we don't step forward, if we don't actually come forward with a path that we can follow, where are we going to go? So there's a lot to be said.
It's so empowering, isn't it, guys?
Is,
so
absolutely
empowering. I mean, you can probably see Jane sitting on the couch here, unless you're actually listening on the radio, and she's a tiny little thing, and she's got all this power. And I know that when we actually heard Jane speak at the shed, which was a group of people that were brought together who were fighting for freedom, and we all heard Jane speak, and we thought we've just got to have her on The One Thing because it was so powerful. So thank you so much for coming in, and we'd really encourage everybody that's listening to like and comment and engage. It makes such a huge difference when the audience is part of the conversation.
Yeah, well, this is why we do this.
Absolutely.
Okay, Edge is very interactive. We want your comments. We want your questions. And we've got a fantastic person here with a lot of ideas and a lot of answers and a lot of, as I say, planning that we can talk about. But, hey, we're much smarter if we listen to everybody's ideas. So get outside your own fishbowl, listen to different ideas, and then we can come forward with something.
I want to ask Jane a question to start us off. Is that
okay? I've got lots of questions
I know. What does personal sovereignty mean to you?
Great question.
Yes. Well, actually, I did look it up because I had my own ideas, but I wanted to be sure that I was hitting the main points. It's regaining your freedom.
Yeah.
But it's within observing everybody else's rights and freedoms as well. So it means taking accountability and responsibility for everything about yourself and mindful of what is to be considered for other people.
Yeah,
The
a little bit of
laws,
discernment there
absolutely,
as well. Yeah,
that's right. And most especially, you have the right over your body.
You do.
Decisions about anything to do with your body are solely up to you. And that's what sovereignty is.
And while we're on that subject, right from the get-go, so that we remember, I actually we opened up with me reading a paragraph from this document, and it's called the Declaration of Sovereignty. Would you like to just explain to people what it is and how they can get hold of it?
Yes. When the people who gave away their sovereignty, and I will admit, as many of us that did resist most of it, you still got caught up, even if it was respecting other people, even the mask wearing, the social distancing, all of that was part of a contract. We were contracted to do this without us realizing this, because we've been born into this. We didn't really know what was going on while it was happening. And the mandates were actually required our permission. It's a two-way street, but people weren't told that.
Well, Jane, I think very much some of us read the contracts. Okay, we read the contracts and we'll use our own critical thinking here. We'll look at it and we'll go, no, I'm not going to sign. In fact, I'm going to tear this thing up.
I think she might be talking about soul contracts, are you?
It's a bigger thing.
No, that's exactly. I'm with you. I'm using metaphors. Jeez, it's a tough thing around here.
You're glad I'm back, aren't you?
Oh, hole in the head. It's great having you back.
Boom, boom, boom. She's back in the room. Sorry.
Well, okay, Jane, I appreciate what you asked, Becky. We are talking about soul contracts.
Yeah.
Do you remember signing your soul contract?
No, I tore it up. No, but we have a contract as being part of society, right?
Yes.
Correct.
And doing unto others as you would wish to have it done upon you, so to speak.
Yes.
So, where do you step in on this? What's your definitive line, I guess?
Regarding,
as far as owning your own sovereignty, that contract.
Well, we've actually agreed to many contracts without realizing it, unknowingly. For me, it's to be free to speak without fear of harm coming. And yet we saw this all the time. The people who were in the front lines initially, it's changed because there are so many of us who are standing up now, and we support the originals. But many people were incredibly abused. So this document is a way with intent, which is so powerful, of declaring, and you say it out loud, not you can be by yourself, but it's your way of breaking all these contracts that you knowingly or unknowingly have made through your lifetime. And it actually goes back through your ancestry, because we were birthed with contracts. We received them from our families who were in the system before us.
Sure.
And this will break all of that.
So who wrote that?
Yeah,
A lady or a person, actually, I don't know who the person is. I don't even know how to pronounce the name, 𝐊𝐞𝐲. And I actually have a link to that person's site where I found this.
Oh, all right. So for somebody, some people would say that's woo-woo. What would you say to them about that?
That's okay. That's what freedom is all about. Everybody is entitled to their own belief and system. It's important to remain open, though, because
really
one word that we've been banding out about a lot lately is our truth. And everyone has their own truth, and we must respect that.
So
you don't like that. Aaron doesn't like that.
I'm not a fan of this is my truth either.
I believe in this thing called facts. Okay,
I'm with you.
Let me throw another word in: perspective.
Perspective.
And that's really what you mean when you say, someone has their truth, because it's all your life experiences and they shift all
correct.
the time.
But everything is not real anyway. So, what Aaron believes true and correct is not what I believe true and correct.
Well,
so it's not real.
Well, it is.
So it's not truth.
It's very simple. You're wrong. I'm right. That's okay.
I just say it's your perspective.
I'm teasing you.
It's not truth.
I just want to throw the question that's up on the screen, and thank you, Rochelle, for your question. Love interaction. So this is great to see. What practical steps can individuals take to reclaim their sovereignty and actively shape the future they want?
Well, firstly, this document will help you reclaim your sovereignty, and you take it to heart. I mean, it's profound what the messages are. And it's something that would probably happen gradually because, especially if you've got caught up in the system, you have to let go of that. And I think another word most people are familiar with is a matrix. It's to me, it's like a spider web.
Sure.
And some people are deep where they just can't see their way out as much as we wish they could. And others are in different places. And I think it's a gradual process of accepting new ways of doing things, even to stand up for what you believe. And that I noticed since I've been in Australia, people find really hard because almost from the moment we stepped on the soil of Australia, the tall poppy syndrome.
I think we are such a colonized nation, so indoctrinated into the culture of this.
I used to tease Americans about this because, you know, I mean, look, every American you see that's on a news report, whatever, they could be any stage of life.
We're not bagging Americans. Sorry.
Yeah. Here we go. No, but they're born TV ready. Okay, like they're on it, and because they step in with a self-confidence about them. Okay, and they don't tear each other down. They actually do promote each other. So no, it's something that I think Australians, I was going to say, should be jealous of. No, we shouldn't be jealous at all. We should actually aspire to that. Yeah,
the thing I noticed most when I went to America for the first time in my 20s, so it was a long time ago, was how uninhibited people seemed to be. And I felt like we were a lot more suppressed. Yes. How long have you lived here for?
We moved here at the end of 1973.
Okay.
So it's over 50 years that I've been here. Yeah. But and my friends all know this, my culture is different. It's very much the American culture. And I can speak, Aaron, to some of the things you were saying. When I grew up, and I'm assuming it's the same, I've been away for a long time, a few visits, but it's hard to tell how much things have changed. You were always encouraged. If you had any ideas, you wanted to make something of yourself, and it didn't matter your race, your religion, your gender, nothing. You get that support,
celebrated.
Which is exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful thing.
It is.
It really is.
It is. And I'd like to think I've come with that because I'm not afraid to speak up. I don't think about what are the consequences going to be, but I take it on board that if there are, then I'm accepting that. That's my personal responsibility. But I feel like I'm here to do that, to speak up.
I love that. Everything has a price. Everything has a price. So are you willing to pay that price? So if you're going to speak up, understand there will be consequences.
Yes.
And I mean, this is one of my major beefs about society, and I'm going to blame it, hit Australians on this one, is that lack of responsibility. That
women then. I was going to have a go at him.
Oh,
what was that, Leanne?
I thought he was about to say women then.
I'm not that stupid. No. But lack of personal responsibility and lack of ownership, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I think a lot of countries are worse. Certainly in the Western world, we seem to be worse at that than we are on the East.
So have you always been like this, Jane? Or was there a moment where you became aware of what was going on?
Like what, when you say aware of what?
Of being a conspiracy theorist.
No. This is the other interesting thing. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed what I now know is happening.
Sure.
Was happening.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. The only thing was in 39 years ago, I was starting to, I guess you might say, well, people were telling me, I was feeling my age. So through the grace of God, a naturopath, a wonderful naturopath was recommended to me, and he empowered me to be well. And as he told me, you just take a step at a time, because if you try to do everything I tell you, you'll get overwhelmed, which happens to many people. And I did. And I've just tracked that all through these years. So I've kept good health, doing many different things, and I want to share that with other people. So that part, yes, I was aware for a long time, because I always thought with the money, and I grew up at a time when it was so different to what it is now. But I saw it gradually ramping up, and I'm thinking, how can people keep pouring money, and cancer is probably the biggest one, when the amount of money, and they keep having these morning teas and collecting money in the malls everywhere. Don't they realize that it's getting worse, not better? I just really couldn't get that.
On that front, I heard this yesterday, and my jaw hit the ground, right, is the fires, obviously, they happened in the US, about 12 months ago, roughly. Okay.
They're still happening.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. But, they got the celebrities out there and they had an appeal-a-thon for this and a telethon for that and what kind of. They raised $100 million.
Wow.
What happened to it?
Well, there you go. Guess how much has gone back to the victims of the fire 1 year on?
Any?
Not a cracker.
Yeah.
But guess
surprised.
what? It has gone to some diversity groups,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I can see how that makes sense. To actually, no, this is not a joke. Like the diversity groups were for people there were influencers that literally had, 7 followers who were being paid from this. It is just money laundering. Everywhere you look, it's just money laundering.
Yes.
And I'm with you on the cancer thing because guess what? Okay, we're all upset about cancer. Cancer is a horrible thing. And obviously, men and women, we get very passionate about particularly breast cancer. We think of our mums, we think about our wives, we think of our daughters, okay? And I would hope, obviously, women would think of themselves and some men have the same problem as well. But look at the money. Now, where is the cure? Guess what? If we're pouring that much money and we have that many intelligent people, there is no way in the world there is no cure.
No.
That is rubbish.
Do you believe there's a cure, Jane?
Oh, I know there is alternative ways of doing things, but I'd like to a lot of people might not realize this. Cancer was created by the very people who are taking our money and destroying our health.
Right.
And that was back in, I think it was 1913, Rockefeller along with Carnegie Yes. And another person, because the oil industry was very big. And he didn't know.
Petrochemical industry.
Exactly. So he decided to use the petrochemicals and they knew exactly what they were going to do to us. If you can track back, you can find little video clips, writing, because they're very out there. And that's part of this corrupt culture.
Sure.
They tell you what they're going to do.
Yeah,
and if you don't step up and, say no way, and people don't, it's so subtle. It's in the movies.
Do you believe that it was in The Simpsons?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I believe that
there's something going on there. Interesting though, I just saw not too long ago, the creator of The Simpsons is a Freemason. So I thought that was interesting. So in a way, I think it's the playbook. They knew what they were going to create. And I'm not sure about this, but that's my take on it, that they, all the plans they were telling you. But of course, what's going on now has diverted that.
Yeah, I bring up the example of 90 odd years ago where we had the Wizard of Oz. I mean, that is it's an instruction manual of what's going on. And it's literally, I'm putting it there in front of your face. In fact, I'm rubbing your nose in it. That's what the Wizard of Oz is.
Yeah.
And we think of it as a kid's movie. No, it was just a very clever way of indoctrinating children from a very early age, and obviously anybody watched it.
And follow the yellow brick road. The money. So follow the money.
Can I just come back to what you were saying before? Because I don't know about Aaron and Leanne, but I was surprised to hear you say that you were surprised when COVID happened. COVID was
I was tracking the health thing. So I straight away, because those that I was resonating with and following, like Dr. McCall and a few others, they were questioning it. And even the virologist and entomologist, they were all saying, this is not the way things are done. They would normally be given a culture to analyze and work out what the substances were that they were going to have to deal with.
Sure.
And everybody was in the dark. And then a few doctors like Dr. Buttar spoke up, and he actually, and I think it's in the news now, at least certainly it's big in alternative. He was actually holding documents up, letters, where they were being told, if you do this, which is like however the person has died, could be an traffic accident, sign off that it was COVID. You're going to get umpteen thousands.
Right.
And the hospitals, the same thing. And they had to make everything COVID to create as much fear. And this is the thing, the fear factor. Huge.
So powerful.
Huge. Yes.
And it's still around now, all that fear.
Oh, yes. And they keep ramping it up, and it's not easy to let go of, because we have a community group in New York. We meet every week, and there are people who've been with us for years, because I think we started it 2021, and they still get it's hard for them to let go, as much as they've heard. There's a few of us who are really strong in what we're saying, like I am, and it's so easy for them to get drawn back into that fear. And I've heard this so many times. when people say, do you want out of the matrix? The first thing you do is stop watching television.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the fact it's mostly lies,
Yeah.
well, certainly the news is, it's mind control,
Yep.
serious mind control.
That's why it's called programming.
That's right. Programs, exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's no accident.
Yeah.
At
Tell
all.
I vision. People will say, tell.
So
tell lies.
Yes.
would you say that would be the first step into creating the future you want? Letting go of television, mainstream, all propaganda and programming, all of that sort of stuff?
It is, because you're constantly being reprogrammed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have witnessed somebody who was with our group, is not any longer, watches lots of television, and actually has flipped. Instead of seeing the good that's going on in the world with the alliance, and then Trump, that's a topic I'd like to broach, has completely flipped 180. Now can't stand the man, questions everything this person does. And I'm thinking, yet this person was with our group for years.
Yeah.
And that's how easy it is to just be sucked back.
Before we go, Trump, would you like to just have a little break?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
exactly. Look at that. We're
there you go.
You
We're-
might have been
we're
missing
in
for a
sync.
few weeks, but you're still on the
We're
ball.
still online.
Back in just a tick.
Is pain holding you back? Bowen Therapy with Panacea Healing can change that for you. It's never too late to recharge your health, career, or purpose. You have the power within yourself to change what no longer serves you, taking your life and health to another level. panaceahealing.com.au. You can do anything.
Thanks for joining us here at One Thing here on Edge Radio Australia. Look, this is a fantastic conversation, and we're about to head into a bit of territory, I think, that I've got a bit of skin in the game, because
Yes.
I have a set of Trump socks.
Yes.
Okay, that makes me.
Yes.
Did you wear them? No.
No, sock free today. I don't do socks and sandals. Come on, really.
Oh, come on, Aaron.
Mm.
For anyone that can't see Aaron's feet,
there's a
he
reason.
is wearing sandals,
Yeah.
and it is cold in Perth,
Hello.
Western Australia.
There we go.
Oh my
see?
goodness! And Leanne's got sandals. How do you guys do it?
Oh, toughen up, princess. Look,
We're just hot.
That's right. So let's talk.
Can I, before we do that,
Oh,
I'd like
yeah.
to just pick up on what Lisa was asking me.
Sure.
I was right on top of the health side of things, because through my articles in the paper over those many years, I was tempting to put in, the damage junk food does to you, fluoride in the water, sodas, those soft drinks, etc. And people just really didn't pay much attention to me. But what I didn't realize was the corruption in every institution, every
So true.
corporation, everything in your local community. Who's pushing the jabs? Go to the pharmacies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah,
Pharmacies,
look,
it's
we
terrible.
don't even have doctors in here. We have drug
No.
dealers.
Yes.
Right? We have
Yeah.
drug dealers. And on that front, a little side note that I haven't discussed with anybody, so a bit of a
Spanner in the works.
a bit of secret information. We actually have someone who's joining Edge who is actually once a month going to be coming in and spilling the beans from inside local government, which I like to call council, which is going to be very interesting to see the different programs and the different the money travelling back and forward, and the fact that, in my opinion anyway, that local council has very much become the green room feeding into
A whistleblower?
Pardon?
A whistleblower?
Well, no, not a whistleblower as such. Somebody who's going to come and continually contribute. And I think with all of us working together and doing this sort of thing, what we can achieve is just huge. So, I thank you very much for the fact that you've been doing this in the paper for such a long time. And another thing I want to throw forward just before we get on to the next subject, I do want to say this. You said that you've only really come to the fore, if you like, in the last 5 years.
Yes.
right?
I think
We've
that's
really
me as
opened you
well.
up.
You?
I just want to have a bit of a go here. I'm going to have a bit of a whinge.
Yes.
For those who are the gatekeepers of our community, back off. Okay? Back off. If you've been in for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 years, or 20 years, the fact of the matter is, if you are part of this movement and you're part of trying to make the world a better place, we love you, we encourage you, and you're very, very welcome on this journey, and we will do whatever we can to make your life as good as possible. The people who are going, oh, look, you're only involved because of since COVID, or you're only involved since this or that, they are just gatekeepers to what is, quite frankly, a very, very positive movement. So I want that to move forward. Now, part of that movement, in a very strange way, is a funny-looking fellow who's got orange skin and a great haircut, Donald Trump.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Trump. What are your thoughts there?
he's an amazing individual. He was actually asked by hundreds of generals, which is when this movement that began, called the Q.
Sure.
The Q movement, the alliance. I don't know how much people know about them, but when you mention Q, it's actually a very small group, fewer than 10 people. Most of them are top military. They asked Trump, because they knew which way the world was going. I'm going to throw some things that might just really stagger a lot of you. JFK was never assassinated. He knew that he was pushing the boundaries, the edge. So it was a body double. But everyone still, and I'm not sure if he's passed away yet, but we have actually seen him in the rallies and so forth. And he's quite honored as an older man. And we think he was very much part of this Q movement, because what he was promoting when he was president is what we're trying to do today to turn things around. But that is a reference point, because apparently even decades prior, hundreds of generals across the whole world, not just America, had joined together, seeing where humanity was being herded, because we've been captured, we've been literally enslaved and kept in scarcity. We're always in survival mode, and that's where so much of the narcissism is coming in. And they knew they had to do something. And the first thing they did, this is what I know anyway, this I might find out down the track it's not true. The first thing they knew they had to do was copy what the dark side was doing, the deep state. They infiltrated the dark side in everything. They actually had universities of preparing these young leaders, and who are, you would know their names because most of them are somewhere at the top of their government or corporations or something. And so the alliance, which is the way I like to refer, the white hats is often used. Trump is a figurehead, because the whole world has been actually under military control for a long time, even when Trump was first in. And he's the figurehead. He has that authority to make the decisions, write the executive orders and so forth. But he's actually instructed by the military. And they're staying very quiet. They don't want to have to rise up, and they're doing everything possible to prevent things from going too far south.
Now, Jane, I don't actually believe that. I actually don't. But the beauty is we can talk about it, okay? And I might actually learn something or actually change my mind. It's happened mid-show before. But yeah, it really has. Well, this is why we have conversations, right? Yes. So, I mean, I and other people might feel the same. Who knows? But I mean, I think that...
So which bit did you not agree with,
JFK
Aaron?
bit, this is where I'm going. JFK bit, I believe he was assassinated. I absolutely believe it was an inside job. All of that,
that's true. It was an inside job, but they didn't realize that they were actually killing a double body.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a bit I fall short on, but you know what? It's an interesting thought.
So what makes you? Sorry, Aaron. What makes you say that that's the case? Because, I mean, how do you know that's true?
Because those people at the top are giving this information out through those that I follow or resonate with and listen to, and I've actually seen the man, and they show images of him as a younger person, and the features, the nose, all those particular features are the same, and he's an older man. I've seen photos of it.
Because people say that about Elvis Presley as well, don't they?
Same thing.
So you believe it's the same thing.
There are hundreds of people in federal witness protection that we think were killed, but they were actually trying to do the right thing, and their lives were in danger from the dark side, the deep state, and they were removed, lots of them. So you're going to see people start appearing.
Look, I don't doubt that at all. As far as the deep state's a very real thing. We all know it's real. Anybody who's again thinking very critically or has opened their mind to these sorts of ideas.
Am I allowed to ask what exactly the deep state means?
You just did. Look at that.
Well, it has many words. Cabal is another word that's used. Yeah. There are many groups in it. There are mafias, there are cartels, there are Freemasons. Not that all Freemasons
so
are.
It's the baddies.
The baddies. That's another way. Yeah. And
I'm going back to the cowboy in India movies when I was a kid.
I love the fact that Tulsi Gabbard mentioned that she said cartel.
Yes.
Right, and she's actually keeps saying that and repeats that. I think that's an important bit of language there. That word needs to be part of the
person you just said. Who is that?
She's the head of the intelligence, effectively, of the US government. Yeah. She is, in my opinion, should be the first female president of the United States.
So we talk about Freemasons and stuff like that. What about Church of Scientology and all of those sort of obscure? Well, for me, it's obscure sort of. Places.
I haven't quite finished what I was saying. I tend to go off on tangents. So
what
the deep state did, many, many decades ago was infiltrate everything gradually. And that's where, as I say, they were through universities, et cetera, instructing people to take on these roles. And a lot of it is through mind control. They have handlers and so forth. And they're in everything, even in your local, just look around in your local area, they're there as well. So,
do they know what they are?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Well, some may not, because
I reckon some
most
just
of them
don't know. Yeah.
Are they the people that wear pajamas out to the shopping centre?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I like the zombie-looking ones.
What in the
I haven't heard of that one.
No.
What do they look like?
They're just called lazy people.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I know there are a lot, because the awareness is raising, as people have seen the horrific damage from adverse reactions that I would rather be dead than alive, that people are living with. The babies are born just completely, their neural system, they just shaking all the time. It's horrible what's happening. And I guess the kids really touch my heart the most, and probably most. And that was Donald Trump's first executive order back in 2017. It was all about the children, helping with it. And that it underlies everything. Most of the world has no idea what's been happening to the children.
The Underground Railroad is horrific.
That's nothing.
Just part of it.
That's just the very, very tip of the iceberg. But it was for people who have no idea some way of.
Well, you need to sort of give everyone a little Whitman sampler. You've got to ease them
absolutely.
into these.
And this is why things are seemingly taking so long, because another thing I've heard from more than one source, and I also really resonate with people off planet, the various in the galactics, as we call them.
Sure.
And they are actually working with us now, doing things that humans can't do, and they're helping us with that. And they have said
Can
everything.
you give Albanese's address, please? Because we're trying to get rid of that one. That's for sure.
He's just a mask, by the way.
Yeah,
Ricardo Bosi said that.
He's not even that.
It's not.
I'm going to.
Meaning it's not the real person.
I'm going to say. I'm sorry, cut into your conversation there, because
that's okay.
I think Bosi's a problem. I think actually Bosi's. I don't believe in him. I think that he abandoned very good people, running up to the election, creating all that momentum, really had something going on, and Bosi really let a lot of people down. I think Bosi is not a friend of our movement.
Well, I can't speak to that. I don't follow him that much, but by the same token, the people who connect with, other conscious beyond, sort of the norm, they have actually said he's working very closely with the alliance, but I guess in his own way. I don't know what he's done, because I don't particularly tune into him that much, but he comes up with some interesting things, which verifies that most of the government is just doubles, clones, masks,
just puppets on the string.
They're puppets, and they have already been removed. But because the people aren't ready en masse, the majority are not ready, it has to be played out really slowly. Because one of the other things the generals did with the Alliance and the Galactics, they had something called looking glass.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
No.
I've heard the term, but
Yes.
I'd love to know your views.
They've gone into the future.
Okay.
And they have quantum computers and so forth that assist this. And they've looked at how best to, I guess, basically rescue humanity and everything on Earth, because the Earth is a living being, a live being. And they looked at many scenarios of, if we do this, what's likely to happen? And they've traveled back and forth. The deep state, for a while, we're doing the same thing, but they've lost that capacity. And apparently the Alliance computers are much more powerful. They can look further into the future. People are not ready, because what I was about to tell you is apparently everything's already been done a few years ago. And they're just eking out the truth of it, or the facts of it, to the public as much as they can handle. Because people, what we know, if they had that was just dumped on them all at once, they literally could not handle that. Civil uprisings would occur, and the Alliance does not want for this to happen. And you can usually tell by these events around the world, these catastrophes, who's behind it, because it's a real mixed bag at the moment.
So true.
If there's a lot of loss of life and no consideration for the people, the children, that's the deep state, the dark side. But if there might be some loss of life and damage, but minimal, that's the Alliance.
What about those fires? Because my understanding was that it was like a microwave.
I haven't followed that really closely.
Okay.
There are different things happening, and I know some of the things, and I can't really speak to the fires per se, but many of the things like the earthquakes, that's actually the underground bases being destroyed through direct energy weapons from above.
Okay.
Titanium rods. There are no explosives, but from high enough up, they just completely shatter. And the earthquakes are always either 2, 3, 5 Ks below the surface.
Okay.
And that's how you know that it's one of theirs, because otherwise they radiate out.
Yeah, but we had earthquakes well before.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
but not like what's happening now. And they're all calculated. And people who follow this will say, well, that was 5 or 10, and they just stop there, and you don't have that reverberation. Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So are you a flat earther?
No.
Okay.
No. The galactics tell us the Earth is not a perfectly round sphere.
No,
It's
we
been
know
hit by things. So it's a
Okay.
bit of a,
So who are the galactics? What do you mean by that?
who don't live on Earth, the extraterrestrials. Because
Okay.
there are malevolent ones who have been part of causing we're ending.
Sure.
But there are a lot of benevolent ones, and they're the ones helping immensely right now with many things.
So,
I mean, there's been travel to the moon, not the moon landing. That was a total fake, the one that everybody talks about. But there's been travel. The technology that's been kept from we, the people, is extraordinary. So there's been traveling to the moon, to all the different planets. Yeah, that's just been going on.
we've been
Sounds like a movie, doesn't it?
Well, it is.
There's been a few.
Well, there's
Sounds like
been
you're directing
a lot
movie.
lot of movies
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Avatar. Have a look at Avatar.
Oh, yes.
So that's already a key into.
See, I never watched Avatar.
Yeah.
I
Didn't
watched
you?
about 10 minutes and thought, oh, this looks like rubbish.
I actually enjoyed the
Yeah.
There you go. So maybe I missed out.
Yeah.
There we are.
Well, Roddenberry, who created the Star Trek movies.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he actually was given information from the Galactics, because that's where they're telling us what's coming. That technology is on the planet, just been kept from us, all of that. And the meeting, my favorite was Voyager. All my friends know this. It was fantastic. And they met all these different, extraterrestrial cultures, very different, which is where we're going to be finding out more soon ourselves.
So who are we the people?
Us. And Trump, for those who don't like him, if you ever go back, and it's not long, his first inaugural address in 2017, it was so powerful, very, very touching. He actually had military come up behind him from the various ranks, just stand when he started. And America's governmental system is quite different in many ways too.
Very much so.
There's similarities, but different. And there's this period of transition from November, when the election has happened, and into January 20th, when the actual inauguration. And supposedly during that time, the incumbent president is passing over security documents, And Trump said, today, the transfer of power is back to you, the people. And what he said in that address was so powerful. And I don't think people had a clue what it really meant. And this is what he's doing. And he keeps talking about, we have a role. And that context, that idea of we the people is a new term, because people don't realize, because we've been so used to doing what we're told, particularly in Australia,
It's true.
Western world,
It's something
and
I'd
you've
love to
given
change
over
about this country.
you've given over your power to just about
So
anybody,
how do we get that back?
because doing what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
for a
Okay.
start,
Yes.
and even just being the best person you can be, and holding space for those who are struggling more than you are with your sovereignty.
Is that somebody you know, David Sparrow?
Ah, yes.
Hello, David. Thank
Hi,
you for
David.
your comment here. When the generals talk overlording galactics, everything awesome. Oh, that's cryptic in itself. That's great, mate.
Yeah.
Look, as I say, much of what you say, I 100% believe in. Okay, and I am a Trump supporter, and I was a guy who couldn't stand Trump. I actually,
Okay, so why?
I actually didn't like Trump either.
Okay, so why did you not stand him?
because like I used to joke and say, the thing about Trump is I'd never invite him to a dinner party. I think he'd just drive me nuts.
Yeah.
His speech patterns, the way he goes about it, the ego, the rhetoric, the way he conveys.
I think just the fact that he was on television
Oh, but I never watched
as
any
well.
of that. That
No,
wasn't
but
for
just
me.
because of that.
But yeah, perhaps. But his general personality. But what I did is I backed away from that and just said, hang on. Let's judge the man on what he actually does, not what
Yeah,
he says.
he did a lot.
And forget about the way he carries himself as far as a personal level. Let's look at what he does. And every single thing, I can't think of a single thing that he's done that has been negative for the American people. And he works for the American people. So when people are bitching about tariffs, for argument's sake, tariffs was one of the smartest moves.
Yeah, absolutely, for America.
Because if you don't understand tariffs, you don't understand negotiating, okay? And he's the
Might be bad for us Australians, but not for his.
But it's not
American.
bad for Australians.
It's not,
actually really good for Australians.
Yeah.
Right?
There's so much in what you just said. There is so much I could pull apart and tell you.
Let's go hard.
I'll go right back to what you're saying. I found Trump hard to take when he came on the scene as well. And I was living here.
Sure.
But I knew Hillary was the establishment.
Oh, yeah, no.
And there was no way.
Yeah, no.
I sense,
not a fan of Hillary.
But this is where, going.
Evil human being.
Yeah.
More than you would know.
Well, don't even want to say human being, just evil.
Exactly. Yeah. She really lost her humanity. See, a lot of these dark people, they actually lose their humanity.
Sure.
They've given it away, and they're really not human, because human are loving and compassionate, and we hold our power in a very unique way, and that's humanity. That's not what you typically see, and I reinforce that with people that they say, well, that's just the way humans are, and I no, that's not. We were.
So is it Satan coming in?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's where it was. The ETs started it all, but I'll connect another dot for you. The benevolent ETs removed the malevolent when they saw that we were working towards changing things, but we had to do our bit first.
Sure.
And then they have stepped in and done what only they could do. So they've been removed from the planet early 21.
Look, too many things in history make absolutely no sense without extraterrestrial help. Okay? We can all go through the list. There's things that we could not have done with the technology we had at that time.
Oh, no.
There's no way there wasn't somebody else helping out on it. And I also think on that front, whatever level you want to take this to, I think it's very, very naive to think, look out there, all these planets and all of these galaxies, all of this, but we're the only intelligent ones.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
But if you have a look at the
That's
cave
naivety.
paintings from the Indigenous people of Australia,
Yeah.
have a really close look at the real old cave paintings, not the dot paintings that came in the 70s, but the cave paintings, and you will see it. You will see it.
I have a theory about halos, actually. I don't think halos.
Do you?
Halo is your energy field, your core.
Well, maybe it's not.
So what's your theory,
Maybe
Aaron?
the halo that you used to see just over the head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an interpretation of 2,000 or 3,000 years ago of what a helmet looks like.
A helmet?
Yeah, because if it was a spaceman, if it was an extraterrestrial, well, okay. You think about your
He's going back to his racing, wearing a helmet.
because exactly.
That's what you think about when you can't sleep at night.
You know what? Okay, Steve McQueen once said, "Racing is life. Everything else is just waiting."
It's a halo. It's a helmet.
It's a theory,
racing back into Earth.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm writing this off as the only thing, but it's a theory. Okay, if you think the sophistication of a person of that era.
Yeah.
Okay, understand this. 130 years ago, right, and in your entire life, the average person took in the information you would find on 2 pages of the newspaper. Your entire life, that's all you took on.
Yes.
Right? Okay, about 120 years ago.
Yes.
Look where we are today. Look at what
it's just constant.
Now, genetically, have we changed a lot? No. So it's about capability.
I think we have changed genetically.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well,
you
yeah,
listen to Dr. Bruce Lipton, epigenetics. Genetics are changing all the time.
Our consciousness is lifting.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I'm
Our
certainly
frequency.
noticing genetically women seem to have really big lips now. That's one thing I'm noticing.
That's not genetic.
No.
That's
I'm glad you said
And the way
lips.
that you post
Glad
on
you said
Facebook,
lips.
you don't post big lips.
and I cannot lie.
And I'll rescue you. I just want to come back to Trump.
No, don't rescue him.
Very early in the piece, I happened to come across a video clip from someone who grew up with Trump in the same town, etc. And he said, "We all talk like that." And I know it's very unusual and very hard to take because it is very strange. But that actually is the real Trump, the way he was, the way he is. And he was educated in a military cadet
school
military. So he has incredible power, understanding of how the generals would work anyway.
Well, as I say, the thing I want people to do is stop watching mainstream media.
Yeah.
It is propaganda. that
Only
is all
watch the one thing on Edge Radio Australia.
And you're listening to Edge Radio Australia on the
Hey.
one thing.
That's right. The world has changed. Remember, only 19% of people now get their information from the nightly news now. from the
Yes.
mainstream
Oh, I
media.
entered your competition, by the way.
Oh, good stuff.
Did you see?
No, I haven't checked yet, but there we go.
I might be winning an air flight.
Yeah, we've got an awesome prize at the moment. Okay, it's actually and there's a technical term, but basically you can go and fly a plane. How cool is that?
Where?
Hey,
Where's this
you
competition?
get onto Edge Radio Australia, the Facebook page. It's really easy to enter. Share that, right? Share the post. Go onto our YouTube, like our YouTube, do the old subscribey thing, and boom, you're in.
But how do you get
Bonuses.
bonus points?
Oh, geez. You want steak knives? We've got steak knives. Here's how you get the bonus points. If you want to name three of our shows,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll even accept 3 presenters. That'll do.
Aaron, Lisa, Leanne, the one thing.
That will give you bonus. This is a $400
I've already
value.
entered.
Now, as someone who has done this is an experience of a lifetime. I got to fly a plane. Okay, I got to take off and I get to cruise along. I get to use all the controls. It is amazing. And there is one negative. Okay, I now
Got to go to Queensland.
No, I just love planes.
Oh.
But now I find myself like I'm really into it now. Aviation I find so exciting and interesting, whereas I didn't. It wasn't my thing before. And but
Can you
I love
imagine
it.
being an extraterrestrial and having the equipment that they would be able flying? Hey, with their helmets, have
With the
halos.
helmets? Exactly.
I'd love to be a bird. They're my favourite dreams when I'm a bird flying. I don't have those very often.
Now, well, I have a lot of dreams about birds too, but hold it for this. Now,
I knew. I just had to look at him. I knew where it was going.
Aaron's going to bring us
Yeah.
back. Bring us back,
bring us
Aaron.
back. We have run out of time on the show,
Oh, have we already?
have.
Oh,
But
my
I
goodness, that went
but I
quick.
don't want to run out the door. Like,
Oh,
I
David
really-
Sparrow wants
Yep.
to say something else.
Fantastic. We'll bring up David's comment here, and perhaps, hopefully, we'll get an opportunity to actually answer it. But I do want to hear some more from Jane. So, okay, would you like to read that for us, Leanne?
Sure. What be your vibe? Re the couple from Shire of Beverley who went missing near Sandstone, and also regarding young Madison. Oh, and on the topic of flying, sandstonewa.gov.au Council Facilities Airport. Ooh.
Ooh,
So
Manchester.
what's your vibe on that? Sandstone
any-
couple that went missing.
Don't know anything about
No,
it.
no,
Oh, that's
It
your
sounds,
vibe.
like, it
Yeah.
sounds like, David, it's going to be a coffee conversation you're going to be having with Jane.
Yeah, looks that way. Thanks, David. Appreciate that, mate. And I do see you pop up on the social media. Make sure you get on to Edge Radio Australia on the Facebook page and like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that kind of thing. They would appreciate that, and obviously on YouTube as well. All right, now, because we have run out of time and there's so many things I would...
I've hardly begun.
I know, she's hardly begun.
First things
She
first,
needs her own show, Aaron.
we're going to have to bring you back or give
Okay.
you a show. It's starting to look like the latter on that one. Could I ask you a favour, please, Lisa? Could you hold up a copy of the light on the camera? That would be wonderful. Okay, great. A fantastic thing to do. Grab yourself. This is all independent. Wonderful people who write for this. I know many of them personally, and this is a great way of getting some information that, quite frankly, you certainly won't see on Channel 7 or ABC or any of those other propaganda agents. I want to give you the parting words, if we could, Jane. What is a call to action we can achieve right now?
To know that you're a free individual, you have rights over especially over your own body.
Yep.
To take responsibility for yourself and also be caring of other people's rights, but to fulfill some role in creating what you want. Otherwise, we're going to just recreate what we say we don't want.
Yep.
It's not easy, but you just keep flicking your focus back to seeing and doing whatever you can towards what you want, even if it's just holding space for family who don't get it. Be the best person you can be, to completely being out there and doing.
I think that's just being a really good human as well, doing stuff
that's
like
right.
that.
Being the best you can.
Yeah.
Be- Being the best person you
Yeah.
can.
And then
Absolutely.
opportunities come where you can stand up and do more
Yeah.
if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Not everybody is comfortable doing some things that other people are, but do your part.
Yeah.
Do your
Knowing
part.
And
you're
your
making.
part might be at the front, it might be at the back.
Yes.
Doesn't
everybody. Yeah, we've all
It
got a
all
part to
works.
play.
Mhm.
Stand
Exactly.
strong.
Love that. Thank you very, very, very much for today.
Thank you,
appreciate
Jane.
Jane.
My pleasure.
Thanks to my wonderful co-host, Lucas.
Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Technically, I'm not even here. Remember the first show? Not even supposed to be here, but there we go.
And he's still here 18 months on.
They dragged me in. Thank you, Lisa.
Love you, Aaron.
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you very much for being back, which is wonderful. Yes, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest there, Jane. If people want to get in contact with you, can we get through the lights or throw rocks from the street? What do we do?
Well, I don't know what to say.
We can
As
pop
far as-
Jane's details.
Yeah.
We can.
In the
Yes.
link.
We can certainly do that.
So
or-
when you're on YouTube, you'll see Jane's details.
And also the link to this document, I think, would be a
Yes,
good
we'll
idea.
put the link.
What a wonderful
document.
idea.
Yeah.
And if anything further than that, just go to our website, edgeradioaustralia.com. We've got a contact thing there. Click, put your details, any questions you've got, and we'll look after that. Thank you very much for being part of The One Thing.
See you next
Thanks,
week.
everyone.
Bye.
It's Edge Radio Australia.
Ever felt lost online finding the right businesses?
Absolutely, like a needle in a haystack.
Introducing the Worldwide Awake Business Directory.
Tell me more.
It's your hub for businesses sharing your values. Discover eco-friendly products, socially responsible services, and more.
Count me in. I'll check it out straight away.
Find businesses aligned with your values on the Worldwide Awake Business Directory. Start making a difference with every purchase.